Welcome to the Real Estate Baller Show. If you ever like any of the video we posted, if you like this channel, can you do me a favor and hit that subscribe button? It helps us more than you know. And the bigger this channel get, the more people we can help achieve financial freedom. Thank you and enjoy the episode. When you started off, did you buy any property or were you just representing buyer and seller as an agent?
Yeah, so as an agent, as a new agent, you typically work more with buyers. I think that buyers are less educated. Sellers have been come through it before, so they're a bit more, they're knowledgeable. So they're more picky, they're more selective. A buyer, you're kind of looking for that agent at the right time, right place. So if you're available, you're going to do business. And so when I started out, my job was to be available. The listing broker wasn't available. I was the buyer's agent, and that's what I primarily worked with was buyers. And so by gaining, doing so many transactions, you gain a lot of experience. And then eventually those years later, those buyers start becoming sellers. And then you start representing sellers. That's how I see it maturing in the business. So, and that's how it happened for me. And I was identified, I guess, or directed to be the buyer's agent for these investment properties.
So how long did it take you to buy your first investment property?
Well, I had an agreement with the company I worked with that I wasn't going to be competing. So I stayed, and it was fine with me. I was looking, to do what I do and learn and be the best I could be at real estate. So I didn't start investing, I don't think, until I left that office. And that was, I don't know if it was 2009 is probably when I started buying investment real estate. And I didn't do a lot of flipping. I did it when I was working. I worked myself up from selling houses to in about 2007, I was asked to buy all the houses. So technically in 2007 is when I started buying investment properties, but I bought it for the company. And that year, I want to say it was probably around 70 houses that year that I purchased. And
That you bought for the company?
yes, for the company.
When did you start buying for
Then
yourself?
for myself, when I left the company. So, and I think that was around 2009. And
Did you want to buy for yourself, or was it? How was
Well,
it? How did it feel when you first bought your first investment property?
it felt normal. I mean, I'd already done it, so many times, but I just never did it myself. You always want to invest in your own retirement. So, that's, that was always an idea, but you also want to honor your commitment or your agreements. So if I had an agreement and I was buying houses for a company, I'm not going to be buying houses for myself. I mean, I've got to have it, cleared. So that's kind of why it took, me until about 2009 before buying houses.
What size is your portfolio today? Do you flip them? Do you hold them?
Well, I wish I held more of them, but I bought a few when the market was going down. And then I said, it's a great time to sell. So I sold, a good amount of them. I have about 9 properties right now that I have and that I've kept. And now I kind of wish I would have kept more. And I bought a couple of vacation rentals and I really like that. That's kind of fun. So, I'm looking at really buying the long-term properties to hold. I have a strategy of buying more, but, more in Texas, further away from the coast. I think the insurance is being an issue. It's being very hard to be profitable with the rental properties. It's just real hard to cash flow right now. You can buy them at great discounts, and after you rehab them and then get them rent ready, then your insurance and your taxes are gobbling up a lot of your cash flow.
Well, tell me about it. Like my Galveston houses, one of them, the tax and insurance combined is at least $20,000 a year.
Yeah,
so that's $2,000 extra that you've got to generate from rental.
Right. Yeah. So it's really been difficult the last few years, but I'm just looking and I bought a couple, every year I'll buy a couple and then I may sell one or two or whatever, but I see an opportunity and I'll just buy it. I don't really advertise. I'm really busy doing what I do. I mean, and I'm really good at liquidating assets. And so I work for a couple of different asset managers and several different real estate investors. And it really keeps me very busy, and I have a very good living doing that business.
Hey, thanks for tuning in today. I do have a favor to ask. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with more amazing stories and insights from REBallers. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video. This episode is brought to you by Jet Lending. For over 20 years, Jet Lending has been helping real estate investors succeed. They offer 100% financing so you can be in at $0 at closing. I can always count on Jet Lending to fund my deals. If you're looking to fund your next deal, contact our friend over at jetlending.com.